So one of the reasons they call this car the badass is also for all of its tech. Yes, there's a lot to talk about. Let's run you through everything. Now, a lot of the stuff that you see here is like an update on what was already there on the Seltos, but the one thing that really stands out as all new and a big headline for us, ADAS, level 2 ADAS in fact. And if you compare to other cars in the segment, most of them don't have ADAS, and the ones that do may not be as advanced, especially because in this one you get not just great software but also advanced hardware.
The ADAS gets 17 functions. Things like forward collision warning and forward collision avoidance assist work well, thanks to a system which gets 3 radars and cameras. This is similar to the ADAS systems on cars like the MG Aster or even the Tata Harrier. But the soon-to-launch Honda Elevate, for example, has only the camera system. Okay, on to the other new thing.
Now, the impressive thing about this tech suite is really this twin display, this massive curved display that's brand new, and it's made up of 2 separate screens, both 10.25 inch. This one's of course a touch screen, and that's the instrument cluster where you get a fair amount of information like before. The navigation, you can access the trip computer, and also the ADAS suite. You get a whole lot of information. It's really clear, really sharp on resolution. It's all really nicely laid out, including of course the graphics for the car menu as well. Pretty easy to access, though of course you need a little bit of getting used to in terms of how to navigate this, because not everything is a direct shortcut. Having said that, the functionality is there. You can also now integrate your home Amazon Echo or Alexa to the car, and that lets you have some of the telematic connectivity through Kia Connect, and of course connectivity to your home systems through the car. But besides that, you also get a whole bunch of other stuff right here, including voice commands now. So press that little button here on the steering. How's the weather?
The weather is 35 degrees and cloudy in Gurugram, HR.
Well, no points for that accent, Gurugram. But having said that, you get real-time temperature and weather in the place you're at. Now, that's not all though. You can also have some commands with vernacular languages, English for example. Temperature kam kar do.
Setting the temperature to 21 degrees.
It was at 24, now it's down to 21. So stuff like that. You can also operate the sunroof and a bunch of other things. So yeah, more voice commands than before.
There's also an 8-inch head-up display. It's the pop-up kind like on the Suzukis, just above the instrument cluster. It shows you speed limit alerts, turn-by-turn navigation, cruise control, and even some of those ADAS features.
The smartphone connectivity option with Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, well of course this car has it. It's not standard in the sense that the base version doesn't get it, but everything from there up, you do have that option. But there's an interesting little quirk, and now you'll want to know the reason why, but first let me tell you what the quirk is. The higher versions, which have this beautiful twin 10.25 inch setup, well, you need to actually plug in your phone to get that option. And while that might not seem surprising to you because a lot of cars have that, there you go, Apple CarPlay. On the lower versions, which have the 8-inch screen, you actually have the wireless connectivity option. Now, why is that? Well, it's a software thing, and the 8-inch setup across the Hyundai Motor Group universe uses the updated software. The bigger screen, ironically, doesn't, but it's a change that should come in, and from what we understand, it's baked in, so you won't need a hardware situation in terms of requiring a change. It is a software upgrade that later on should be able to bring you the wireless experience into the Seltos too.
There are 3 USB Type-C ports in this cabin, but for CarPlay and Android Auto, you'll still need a USB Type-A cable, which is odd.
The one annoying thing for me is that when you switch to CarPlay or Android Auto, you don't get the full screen experience as you do with some other brands. You don't even have an option to go from this one to that. So it's just about 2/3 of the screen. Even if you do away with the split screen of the car's interface, like the navigation was there right now, you just get this big black screen, which only enhances the big gap between the 2 screens. To me, that's a bit strange. A few more interesting features. You always had over-the-air updates on the Seltos thanks to Kia Connect. You still have that, and so even the infotainment will update itself if required. And you know what? The real-time updates, you already saw how you get to know about the weather. Well, there's a few other cool little tricks here, because if your favorite football or cricket team are playing, you can also configure it to keep showing you real-time live scores on the little widget.
Kia Connect also has a vehicle diagnostics widget. The Seltos also comes with a 360-degree camera, so you get a surround view. Always nice to have. And last but not least, the 8-speaker Bose sound system. Also very nice to have. What's not to like? Good sound and good music just makes the ride more fun. And this was an original Seltos USP that stays put. To round things off, there's also wireless charging and a climate control system with air purification.